everybody, welcome back to Cruise Control. It is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. Welcome to Cruise Control, the home of entertainment news. I'm your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Happy Monday, everybody. We made it to the weekend, right? Hope everybody had a good time, did a lot of things, had some fun with their friends, their family, went out there and did something like fishing or something. I don't know. Just had a good time out in the world, right? Well, welcome back, my lovely co-host, Miss Sabrina Vittori. Sabrina, welcome back to Cruise Control. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Did you get out there in the lake sometime and put on your waders and do a little fishing this weekend?
No fishing for me this weekend. I worked all weekend long, though.
All right. Well, welcome back. Happy to have you here as always, Sabrina. We're going to have a good time tonight, I think. And it's a Monday, so everybody that's back with us, thank you so much for being here. Hey, what's up, Richard? Hey, Richard Tracy's back. Hey, welcome back.
Hi, GR.
Hey, GR. Also joining us back here on Cruise Control. He's been here couple times now. Gotta love having him here. We saw him last week. It's Monday. He's back again from Film Vets, actor, writer, and host of the show, Paul Allen Dixon. Paul, welcome back to Cruise Control. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I always have a blast being here and figured out some of the camera issues I was having, so that's great. So yeah, just happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah,
don't you love it when technology just leads you astray?
Technology hates me. I swear to God.
We had that a lot too. When we were doing this too, it's like just the audio issues. We had so many, but it just kind of happens. It's the beast of going live sometimes. So, but thank you for being back here. We got a lot going on, and this, of course, with this industry, people are starting to get back to work with WGA now. We're hoping there's going to be a deal this week. Hey, Ryan, what's going on? Hopefully, a deal comes. If it does, that would be some breaking news. Come on. All right, the very first thing I want to dive right into is, I want to talk about Saw for a second, because Saw 10 came out this weekend, and I was wondering what was going on. Maybe some people were out there, but it did okay. $18 million opening weekend. Not massive, not huge. Now, if you look at Saw movies going down the line through the past, it's probably like the fourth lowest grossing movie is somewhere in there. I think it's like fourth from the bottom. So it's not the lowest grossing, but it's down there. The Saw movie's done pretty well. Like the best Saw movie out there opening weekend made $33 million, and this made 18. So, that was Saw 3. Saw 1 only made like $18 million opening weekend. So it's pretty much like on par with that too. So not too bad. And it's actually the highest rated Saw movie out there by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, which I thought was, interesting, right, Sabrina? Because it was only like, it was a $13 million budget and it made $18 million. So it's got 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's pretty huge. And it takes like a 60 and I think it's 75 and above. That makes it actually fresh. So it broke that fresh rating. Great for the Saw franchise. And they said before, we talked about last week, there'd be a sequel if this does well, or a continuation as it will. And it's coming. It's between Saw 1 and 2. That's a correction from last week. So between Saw 1 and 2, Saw 10. Jeez. Doing pretty good at the box office for itself. It still got beat by Paw Patrol, though. Still got beat by Paw Patrol. So sorry about that. That game didn't work out for you too well. But something else that's going down is Disney is cracking down on its streaming. That's right, on its password sharing. So Disney Plus right now, we talked about this before, it was about to start happening. Well, November 1st is the very first time it's going to go down in Canada, because November 1st, they're actually going to launch their ad tier base. And when that happens, they're going to initiate this whole process where if you're sharing your password, they can just kick you off Disney Plus, shut you down, freeze your account, stop you from being on there, or make you pay an additional premium like Netflix is doing as well. They're already saying you should initiate that if it's not involved in your actual plan. And they actually put this out statement saying, unless otherwise permitted by the service tier, you may not share your subscription outside of your household. So Disney Plus is finally cracking down like Netflix. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, right? Sabrina, you're not surprised by this. This is bound to happen, right?
I'm more annoyed than surprised by it. But Netflix did it. I think it's going to be a trend that goes with all the streaming services from now on, unfortunately.
Yeah, everyone's going to be doing it because they're trying to get more money. It worked well for Netflix. And so they're probably thinking the same thing, right, Paul? They're thinking, hey, we'll make more money. We got more people out there doing subscriptions. So that'll be income. And, if you're a member sharing, then you got to stop that, right?
It's an inevitability, I never understood why they just let people share passwords. They were losing money from the beginning. It was great for us as consumers because we were getting free stuff basically. But from a business standpoint, it was kind of stupid to do it from the beginning. I think it was just inevitable they were going to have to do this because there's only so many people who are going to subscribe and eventually you're going to run out of people. So what do you do? Yeah,
they're one of the richest companies in the world. I think they can chill out for 5 seconds and let people share their passwords.
It comes down to shareholders and the amount of money they're getting per quarter and things like that. So even if they do make a lot of money, they want to see, okay, we're making more money this quarter than we did last quarter. And that seems like the bottom dollar kind of deal for them. But yeah, you're right. They are doing well for themselves. The least they could do is give us a free password, right?
Yeah, they could also make a deal though too, and they're going to the table right now with SAG-Aftra. So hopefully they make a deal. Bob Iger and everybody else there, because today was the first day they sat down and started talking. And I went till about 5:30, something like that, 6 o'clock today. They were actually negotiating Alf Wilshire at SAG-Aftra, and all the big wigs came in like they did with the WGA strike at the very end. We had, Bob Iger was there, you had Ted Sidaros was there, Zasloff was there. I mean, they were all sitting down to have a moment to talk to him. And Donna Langley too. We're trying to figure out if they can make a deal happen this week. Hopefully they can. They're not meeting again until Wednesday. So they're taking a day off. Okay, hopefully it's going well. There's not really much information. There was an insider that was there saying like no one's going in this overly excited saying this is going to happen right away or assuming that it's going to be easier because the writers have made a deal. And they're saying we'll have to wait and see what they bring to the table, which they're not saying right now. And then they're going to go from there, of course. And I hope a deal comes this week because people want to get back to work. And it's been going on for way too long. And WGA is still saying solidarity. They're going to still stand the picket line if they're not working, that is, to help picket with SAG-Aftra to push this forward. So, and to make a deal happen, and a fair deal, because they need a fair deal. It's about time, I don't know. Like, I keep going back and forth about this, thinking to myself, like, the fact the writers got a deal, does that really mean that SAG-Aftra will sign this week? And I keep thinking that, oh yeah, maybe it will be, but maybe it will. There's also the counter, argument that they have plenty of time. People can start writing. They don't need actors right away. So maybe they will wait it out and take a little bit longer with this. But if they're willing to sign a deal now, are we going to have a deal this week? What do you think, Paul? Are we going to have a deal? Or do you think this is going to be, that's just hopeful information, hopeful news?
I think it's okay to be hopeful. I think it's okay to stay positive, especially after seeing the WGA getting their deal done. But I personally think it's going to take a little more time. I mean, I was hoping today would be the day since they went back into negotiations, but here we are. We're still back at, not having a deal. So it's probably going to take a week or two, maybe less, maybe by the end of the week. I don't know.
Yeah, that fingers crossed. And I mean, the fact is that their statement too was very vague, just like they did with WGA last week or the other week when they were like, yeah, we're going to sit down again. It went well. We're going to, go over some more things on Wednesday. And that's all they said. And they started at noon today and they went till like 5 or 6. So that's not a lot of time, but it's like, I think dipping their toes in the water, right, Sabrina? Just trying to see where we're at right now since July 14th and to see if we can have some kind of push forward. Do you think this is going to happen soon, Sabrina? Or do you agree that maybe it's going to take a little bit more time?
I think we're heading in the right direction, like the writers securing a deal is definitely super helpful. And it also means that the AMPTP is ready to, give a little bit because they were kind of stuck on stupid for quite a while. But I think it's still going to be a little bit more time with the actors. The AI thing is a little bit more pressing than it is for the writers, or it's a little bit more, what's the right word? Threatening, fucked up, scary. Like with the writers, it's a little bit different. But with the actors, like there's going to be a deal soon. I hope. I just don't think it's going to be like this week. Maybe next week, hopefully. And then theoretically, like I don't really think much is going to start happening until after the holidays. Because once everything's good to go and contracts are signed and they're ratified, then people have to go into pre-production. Pre-production takes a hot minute. Shows that were shut down and currently shooting, they may be able to go right back to work, but I don't think that there's a lot of, those productions that are going to be able to immediately jump back on the horse. I think we're going to be still slow until January.
Yeah, there's going to be some that maybe you're right, Sabrina, I can get back there. And Richard Tracy, you're right. It makes no sense to have writers and no actors. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way these contracts work. It's like they couldn't negotiate with the actors until they figured out a deal with the writers. They're not going to negotiate at the same time. It's just not allowed, so they have to do one and the other. And so the hope is that, this will snowball into, okay, we'll get a deal with the actors now. And they gave on AI with them. Why would they not give it on AI with us? But there's also the whole idea that AI is a lot different for actors than it is for writers. It just is. Different paperwork, different agreements you need to reach, and there's a lot of stuff that's money-wise they have to figure out. So And, the hope is that the AI machine will not destroy everything. That's the hope. And that when the deal comes, we'll be like, all right, cool. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay because AI can do really bad things. I mean, if you ask Robin Williams' daughter, that's true thing, or Tom Hanks, because there's stuff going on right now with AI that I laughed about, that Tom Hanks actually had this AI commercial come out for a dental company. And everyone's like, oh, Tom Hanks is doing an AI dental plan commercial. And then he's like, nah, no, guys, I'm not. And Tom Hanks actually said, beware, there's a video out there promoting some dental plan with an AI version of me. I have nothing to do with it. And then the fact is, they pushed a picture up there. I can show you the picture he put up there. But I was laughing because I'm like, it looks like, young version of Tom Hanks, maybe a little bit of Colin Hanks in there too, But they were putting this out there today, and he has to put this news out being like, no, that's not me. But also it's funny because there was somebody else talking about this today too. And that was Robin Williams' daughter. And she was saying that her dad, actually, his likeness has been used. Well, his voice set is. People have been using his voice to replicate whatever they want him to say. They're using AI to make his voice, and she said it's scary. She said, I've already heard AI use his voice to say whatever people want, and while I find it personally disturbing, the ramifications go far beyond my own feelings. Living actors deserve a chance to create characters with their choices, to voice cartoons, and put their human effort and time into the pursuit of performance. Again, she's saying that AI shouldn't be doing this, and again, her father was very influential, and it sucks. I can't imagine what that's like especially because Robin Williams had the whole thing being like, nobody can use my voice or my likeness. See, it was a contract when his death, it was like 20 years or something like that he had signed on in his will, so they couldn't reuse his likeness. And there are people who are using AI though, and how do you fight that? And even Tom Hanks was saying the same thing. How do you fight it? It's a legality thing. He goes, it's really creative. There's a lot of art to it, but there's a lot of legalities to it. So I don't know. I think this is just pushing forward to where this is going right now with the AI stuff. Hence why SAG is working towards this, because you see it's already slipping through the cracks where stuff is happening like this. People are thinking that's actually Tom Hanks, And people would probably think that that's actually Robin Williams doing those voiceovers. Doing all that stuff, But it's not him. So it's a scary time, and it's something we got to be thinking about as we're moving forward with these contracts and with everything we put out there, right, Sabrina? Because there's whole films that are doing this. Do you think that this is just like the breadcrumb of this huge thing that's going to be happening, that there's going to be more AI coming because we're going to see more stuff like this slipping through the cracks?
I mean, I hope not. That's really a huge violation of your person. I don't understand how they could just do that. There has to be a legal situation where he could sue them or has to get it pulled down, or is there not? Is it a loophole? I don't know. I don't understand. But it's really fucking scary. And also randomly, I was driving to work this morning and I was listening to TuneIn, and there's some commercial for a country music station that really sounds exactly like Tom Hanks. I don't see his face, so I don't know if it's him, but it was also creepy. And when you said this, I was like, oh my God, I wonder if they're doing the same thing. I don't know. It was for some country music station. It was ridiculous.
That's how Tom Hanks feels about it.
Queen Glamazona, my darling, hello. You're absolutely right. It's hard to, having things come out without promotion is definitely a problem. It's an issue. I was really excited to see The Creator. I'm still going to see it, but it has been getting some seriously mixed reviews and not a lot of box office presence. Also, they did for Polar Express, but that was, with his consent, and, they were using his voiceover, you know what I mean? So that's a little bit of a different situation. But then just taking people's voice and taking people's images and recreating things is absolutely awful. There has to be something. There really has to be something that you could do about this. And not even just with the actors' contracts. Once that's worked out, that's a different ballgame. But legally, can a random dentist company piece together your image and use your fucking voice?
That's a good question. I wouldn't think so. And that's what I'm saying. That's why these contracts are so important right now.
High too. Tom Hanks. I mean,
he won't notice.
They should have picked Joe Jonas or something. I mean, I don't know. Seems weird. I don't like it.
I know it's crazy. Paul, what do you think? Do you think that more of these things are going to happen regardless of this contract happen, or will the contract actually stop this from being a thing that's going to get out of hand? Did we lose Paul?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm having some other difficulties. Whatever. Yeah, I think the AI is scary. When it comes down to it, this whole thing is it shouldn't happen. They should not have to go through having their loved ones who were, these icons in the past being taken advantage of after they're gone. And that seems like what they're doing. And it kind of reminds me of not exactly AI, but they use the technology to bring back George Reeves to be Superman in The Flash.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are upset about that because George Reeves was vehemently against playing Superman. He wasn't a fan of doing it. So it's like almost being forced back into being a character. It's so weird.
Yeah, you're right about that George Reeves thing. The George Reeves is just like, and that's Uncanny Valley too. And that's also like, there was one other person from Stranger Things. I think the creator of Stranger Things put it out when the Duffer Brothers image, like, if we don't get actors back, we're going to have actors like this. And they posted a picture of the actors like all AG or CGI AI built, and it looked ridiculous, And it's like, nobody wants that. And it's just, there's a lot of these actors, they don't want that when after they die. They want to be, that's it. That's their performance. But unfortunately, like Tom Hanks said, after he's dead too, they could be doing this too. He's like, it's a weird time. And he's like, you can't really, like, how do you stop it unless you get a fair deal where it gets taken care of? But then there's still people out there independently that are be using it all the time, George Reeves looks terrible. He did look terrible. He did. Yeah, he did look terrible in that. It was just like, it looked horrible. Everybody, even Nick Cage, who actually filmed material for the movie, looked horrible in that too. It's like, how they actually filmed something and they look like they just CGI'd him after the fact. It's just odd to me. But that's what the thing is. It's like the way of cutting corners, making things cheaper, and people think, oh, it'll just work. It'll just work. It's there. It's not there. And even when it's in there, you're losing a lot of people's like personality and the humanity in their performance too. It's gonna take a big lawsuit. The name to star and stop it, GR says. Yeah, you're right, GR. It could. Someone like Tom Hanks, maybe he'll go after these people. You never know. A lot of CGI cameos. Yeah, you're right, Richard Tracy. The CGI cameos were the worst in The Flash.
CGI in general, I guess, was very terrible in The Flash.
Yeah, I wanted it to be great. I was so excited about like Nick Cage coming in there too, and it was just like, womp, womp. Even the director put a big thing out about it too. But that's why we need these deals to come into play to actually help these actors out, so we don't have these problems down the line. And I just don't know if it's going to end though, because people are doing AI movies online. Paul, have you ever seen the Wes Anderson ones online where they actually just have AI do all the Wes Anderson trailers? Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've seen those. And at first it was kind of cool. It was like, wow, they're doing this. And then after doing some research into it and watching videos, like there's this YouTuber named Patrick H. Willem, and he dissected why it's kind of bullshit, because it's kind of just saying, okay, if you put a character in this scenario looking straight at the camera, you got a Wes Anderson film, and it's so much more complicated than that. It's so much more. Everybody's like, oh, this is Wes Anderson if he did Star Wars, and it's not. It's just you have a similar aesthetic to Wes Anderson, but it's not it doesn't compare with Wes Anderson films. And I think there's a misconception of like, oh, we can easily do this. And you can't. There's something about a director like Wes Anderson or, say Christopher Nolan. He's going to bring something that AI will never bring to the table. And I don't think that'll ever be replaced.
It's all like, for them, it's all numbers and just like little pieces they're putting together, the AIs. They can never have that, that creative art that these, performers and these directors are putting out there. It's just not the same. And then Richard Tracy, the weird thing is the director of The Flash is being allowed to make a Batman film. I actually thought the Batman sequences he did were actually pretty great, Muschietti. But yeah, but again, like, hopefully there's no big, like, CG stuff and it looks like that again. I said that was a choice. I don't know if that was a good choice. Doesn't make a good choice. Nobody really liked it.
Muschietti is a great director. I think The Flash was it was a combination of bad timing and bad CGI. But if you watch any of his other films, he's an excellent and very competent director. So I think he can make a great Batman movie, but he needs to take the lesson from this film and just apply it to the Batman movie. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope he does. And I think he is a great director too. I just hope he does learn from it,
Great comment, Queen. That was good.
Yeah.
What was that?
They love to reward. Queen Glamazona said that they love to reward failure at Warner Brothers.
Very true.
Well, they got to keep it going. They got to keep trying something until it works. That's just what it is. And they keep that rebooting again. And they're hoping this works that time. But I don't know, this whole strike thing, it's just like, it feels like it's never going to end. It's a dream you can't wake up from. And there's a lot of people that have been struggling. And a bill actually went across Gavin Newsom's desk that said, hey, we're going to give you unemployment during this time if you're during the strike, is going on, if you're a writer or an actor. Now, of course, at this point, it's pretty much just the actors. There are writers that still aren't working, of course. That's like, hey, push a button, everybody's back to work. So people were asking for unemployment insurance. It went through the House or the Senate, and then went over to Gavin Newsom's desk, and he went to go sign it, and he said no. He vetoed it. So a lot of people have been kind of mad about this has happened, but Gavin Newsom said, like, any expansion of eligibility for the unemployment benefits could increase California's outstanding federal UI debt, projected to be nearly $20 billion. And by the end of the year, it could jeopardize California's benefit cost ratio, adding to the state, which is the responsible for interest payments of the federal unemployment loan, has paid $32.7 million already, and they owe $302 million right now. It's due this month. So it's like, I guess he's trying to say that they owe a lot of money already. This is an increase the amount of money they're going to owe, so they can't afford it, California. And he said at this time, it doesn't make sense to increase the costs and incur a sizable debt. So that's why he said he wasn't going to actually let this happen and go through. So he vetoed it. So there's a lot of people that are really upset about it. But the thing is, too, and the strike will eventually end sooner or later. You're right, Richard Tracy. But the thing is, like, if this did pass on his desk, it wouldn't actually go through until January. So, I mean, at that point, everybody should be back to the work. So people probably wouldn't be able to get it right now. So there's that fact, but there's also the fact that, people are just asking. I know, like, Writers Guild of America West, they came out and they made a statement about it too. And they said, the whole thing, they were saying that the dismissal of the working people that have supported him, they said. And I don't know. For me, though, it's like he's looking at the numbers and stuff. It does suck if right now if you're suffering and this was something you were hoping that was going to come through and help you out right now. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and it sucks. But I bet there are people that are probably still getting it. But if it's just your basis for unemployment is of a strike, then they're not going to give it to you. So, are you shocked by this, Sabrina? Do you think this is surprised you that he vetoed this? Do you think this is going to pass?
I am a little bit shocked because of how supportive he is normally with things, with people, with the pandemic. He was super, like, they let people in California get that boosted unemployment for longer than any other state. They also gave everyone extensions and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. It's I'm a little surprised, but in all honesty, the fact that the film business is not going on here, that the jobs are not happening, has cost California as a state's economy like a huge billions and billions of dollars in loss, from not having the film business currently active in California. So, I mean, I don't know. I am a little bit surprised. I thought he would pass it. It's very unfortunate. But I mean, I don't work in his office. I don't know what kind of he said, it's something $3.8 billion a month that they are paying in interest or something fucking weird.
Yeah, 3.2.
I don't know. That is not my world. I wish he would have helped. It's really kind of fucked up. But and I am a little bit surprised. But I hope this whole thing wraps itself up quickly and we can move on and get back to work. But it's unfortunately, it's just not like everyone that's currently involved in this is gonna be able to just step into a job, even if the strike doesn't. So it's kind of shitty.
Yeah, that's why I said there's no magic button. It's like, yeah, the deal's made, but not every writer's going back to work. That was the big thing they were fighting for too, was, more jobs for more pay, because they were saying there weren't as many jobs because they were cutting the writers per production. That was just something that's been happening. So I don't know. What do you think, Paul? Think this is going to affect a lot of people, or do you think that this would have passed, that it wouldn't have mattered because it was so far out?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to say. We won't see the effects of this for a little while, but I think the optics on it are bad. I think no matter what way you put it, not helping the union strikers doesn't look good. I will say I am a fan of Newsom. I voted for him, but it's hard to say that he's doing the wrong thing, because he's looking at a bigger picture than people that are on the line. And he's saying, well, if we do this, it's going to affect the economy later on, or it's going to affect other people. So I don't know if that's true, though. It could be just him trying to save face.
Make an excuse.
Right. Yeah, maybe he could be making an excuse, or he could be 100% right. He seems like a smart individual from every interview I've ever seen with him. So maybe he sees something we don't. And we're jumping to this conclusion that we need the help, and we do, but maybe that could lead to something worse. And I hope that's not the case. I don't know. I hate this situation. I hate that we're all in the situation where the lives of people are, and I don't put the blame on Newsom, because this goes wholeheartedly to the AMPTP, and the fact that they could have made a deal a long time ago. And that,
they could have.
If you look at the WGA deal, they got almost everything they wanted. And it was easy for them to make the deal. They didn't want to make the deal because they were greedy. And that's what we're dealing with.
A lot of greed.
I put the blame squarely on that.
Yep, I say so too. And it's like, how much can you really do? I mean, I think it could affect him. I know in the chat, people are like, what's the nanny saying about this? Well, the nanny negotiator herself hasn't said anything about this yet, because she was probably at the meeting all day actually discussing the new contract. So she hasn't made a statement about this that I've seen so far. But I'm imagining she'll probably say something about it this week. She'll probably be like, hopefully get a fair deal. Probably the same thing like Paul's saying, that the AMPTP are the people that need to actually step up now and make a deal for the actors, because they're suffering and the state can't help them right now.
A lot of people think that this is all by design. Like they waited specifically this long on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, because it's beneficial to them to operate this whole year at a loss. You know what I mean? It's like I wish Goldie was here, because he could talk about this way better than I can. We should probably save it for him. But it's like a force majeure type of thing, which I just learned what it was. But Goldie told me the other day. I had no idea what it was. So I'm not going to talk about it in that way, the specific definition. But there's it's like an act of nature type of situation. So if there's a strike, it's a choice, right? But if it goes on for a certain amount of time, like, sometimes it's 90 days, sometimes it's 60 days, but like whatever, then that's null and void and it's a force. So basically, if they strung it along for a certain amount of time, then they can get, then their insurance companies will pay all of the things, that they were, like the actor contracts, the production designers contracts, because they have all these paid contracts out there with a lot of people, a lot of talent, and so they'll be able to save all of that money on all of those things and operate the year at a loss, which will help them also tax-wise. So they're fucking us so that they can, eventually, it will hurt the company less. And they don't care. They came in for that second time with the, what's it called? They came in with the second offer, and it basically was like, you should just take the offer.
Just take the offer, yeah.
Like, who does that? How is that a thing? He is brilliant, Queen. Very brilliant.
Yeah, Goldie, yeah.
Ryan, it's a thing. It's a lot of people feel that way, honestly. And, I think that there's a lot of validity to it, honestly. It makes perfect sense. Next time we have him on, we'll have him explain it, because I did that no justice.
Yeah, that is something that we've been hearing more and more, that it is a tax write-off, that it could be a whole thing they can get all this paid for at the end of the day. So, but if they have to wait that long to do it, they're going to do it. They're not going to just sign a deal in the middle of that. They're like, no, I'll just wait to write that shit off. People suffer. Who cares? And that's the thing. Like, and then I saw Lexi put in the chat earlier too that, maybe this exaggerated the Gavin Newsom thing. I've heard that too. Yeah. People are saying that maybe he was exaggerating some numbers. I don't know. But, regardless, I don't think it would have been the help that it could have been, but it would have been nice for people right now. And I think it's logistically probably doesn't look good on his desk that he didn't pass it, because again, I think he's only vetoed it's been like 16 things out of like hundreds that he's gone across his desk. But
yeah, I was surprised.
I don't know all the logistics for it, but I know that it's going to affect people. If you were excited about it, we'd like to pass this news on to you that it's not going to be happening, because unfortunately it's one of those things that people were hoping for, and it really passed very fast getting up to his desk. So people thought it was a no-brainer that it was going to pass, and unfortunately didn't make it. So if you're looking forward to it, I'm sorry about that, everybody. It's not going to happen. But I gotta tell you, something that everybody's probably looking forward to is Beyonce's new concert movie. That's right, because Beyonce is battling it out with Taylor Swift, everybody. Because I saw this, and this has been something that people have been talking about online, because Taylor Swift, was doing so well with her Eras tour coming out to theaters, AMC, then it branched out to more theaters, and they're projecting to make $100 million opening weekend, and people are going nuts about Taylor Swift, like good old Tay-Tay doing this movie they just offered to her. Well, Beyonce, she decided maybe it's something I'm going to do too. And I think this has been in the works for a long time, because this whole Renaissance tour that she's been doing, and that's what the movie is actually based off of, it's going to go through her whole Renaissance tour, parts of the whole way from when it started all the way now where it ended in Kansas, when she announced this with the actual trailer coming out for the Renaissance movie. And Beyonce actually said online, people were like messenger about it when it came out, and she's like, be careful what you ask for, because I might just comply. Because of course people are asking, like, why aren't you doing this, Beyonce? Beyonce Taylor's doing it. You should do it. And, the tickets just went on sale last night. So I'm guessing tonight we're probably going to find out how it did its first 24 hours. We'll see how it matches up to Taylor Swift. But this is funny. It's a weird time in entertainment where it's like these big box offices might actually be from musicians, which it never was before because the content's just not there for movies. And there's some movies coming out. I'm not going to lie, like Saul we just talked about, but they're not doing well as this is looking. It's very interesting. It blows my mind a little bit. But Beyonce said this, and I kind of have it. I have it here because I know in case we want to watch it, I have the trailer here. So let's just check this out together and we'll talk about it. Here's the trailer for her Renaissance Tour movie coming to AMC.
When I am performing, I am nothing but free.
Is it recording?
The goal for this tour was to create a place where everyone is free and no one is judged. Unique.
Stand by for prop lift down.
Dark brown, dark skin, light skin, beige.
Start over, start fresh, create the new. That's what the Renaissance is about.
Beyonce!
Welcome to Mother's Mind.
That's what you are.
We dress a certain way, we walk a certain way, we talk a certain way, we paint a certain way, we make love a certain way.
At any point, they could close their eyes and be right back there and take it with them.
Just reaching up to the solar system, we flying over, ocean we flying over, supernatural love up in the air.
What do you think about this tour?
I feel liberated. I have transitioned into a new animal.
All of these things we do in a different...
This is much different than I thought it was going to be. It's like, because the Taylor Swift one was very much like, it looked like a normal performance piece kind of, tour because a lot of people couldn't see see hers because of the whole Ticketmaster fiasco, everything that went down. But this looks like it's more trying to be a film about, what she stands for, what she's doing with this tour, her life, where she comes from. It looks like it is more of a documentary than an actual tour.
Like a behind the scenes situation.
Sabrina, do you think this is going to do as well as Taylor Swift? Because hers really is based off of, people not seeing that concert. And this seems like this is more just like a film about her.
Taylor Swift's it is her concert. Like, so you're going to go in there and it's going to be like watching her concert on a TV screen, you know what I mean? Or a movie screen, whatever. It's a different thing. This is absolutely a film. I'm sure they'll, play some bits of the concert. Absolutely. But like, I think it's going to be more behind the scenes type of situation. Like, her traveling and, like you said, what she stands for, it seems like, I don't know. I think it's a totally different thing. It's comparing apples and oranges. Taylor Swift, though, did sell out her movie tickets in 23 minutes or something for like all of the performances. So, I'm not sure what happened with Beyonce's tickets, but if they're still available,
there's been no big word about it yet.
But it's also not the same thing. It's not like you were saying, like a lot of people couldn't get to go to her show because either they, people were scalping tickets and they couldn't afford it, or that hilarious. Or that they just couldn't have access to the tickets, So I think it's a very different thing. Absolutely. And I think that, Beyonce fans are still going to absolutely go watch this. And, like we had mentioned before, like there's not a shit ton of stuff coming out to the theaters and people are holding movies back because the actors can't do press and like all these things. So, if it gets people out and going to the movie theaters and, helps keep that spirit alive, then, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I like how Richard Tracy, I was going to call him, we're not that close yet. We're not that close yet, Dick.
You can't Dick out there yet?
I can't call him Dick yet. But Richard, I'm kind of in the same boat you. I don't think I'm have any kind of thing in this either. Like I saw it, I'm like, hey, it looks okay. I'm like, I feel like the Taylor Swift one's gonna do better. I hate to say it. I know there's Beyonce fans are gonna hate on me, but I feel like the Taylor Swift's gonna do better because it is like a lot of buzz about not being able to see that concert. And it's a formulaic concert piece as opposed to a documentary. But maybe this will do well. I just don't see it blasting through the theaters and going as crazy as Taylor Swift's will. But maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
but
it's
Paul,
a different thing.
It's a different thing.
It's like, it's like watching a Beatles concert or watching a Beatles documentary. Different people are going to watch those things.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, unless you're like, whatever, a diehard fan. But like, if you're going to watch a concert in a movie theater, which I personally think is weird. It's a lot. I don't know. Like the whole point of going to a concert is to like experience it live. But if you can't go and this is the only way that you can see her, then I guess, okay. But this is more of a movie, which belongs in a movie theater. So I again, apples and oranges. I don't think it's a comparison. On tour though, Beyonce and Taylor Swift, both, made about the same amount of money. Beyonce's tour was shorter than Taylor's. Taylor's went longer, or is going longer. But they what do they call them? Beyond Swift or something like that. She had a Barbenheimer thing. It was like a whole thing because they both were selling out concerts everywhere.
Were they trying to do like a Saw Patrol for this last weekend too, or something like that?
I would sleep through one of these. Trust me, with all the screaming girls, there's just no way you can sleep through the concert. I promise
I don't know, Richard.
Especially Taylor Swift.
I don't know. But Paul, what do you think? Is this a weird renaissance for musicians to be coming to theaters? Do you think this would be a trend that if these do well, that more people do? Because before it never really worked out too well. But if these two make it big, do you think more people will do it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Hollywood's all about money. And if these are making money, they'll make more of them. I'm with Sabrina, though. I don't really see the point of going to see a concert if it's not live. That's just not me. I will say that the Beyonce trailer gives more information as to like behind the scenes as opposed to just the concert. So that's something that's a little more interesting to me. But I still don't think I'll go see it. But, if people enjoy it and they don't have any other way of seeing the concert, yeah, it's great. I used to watch concerts live, on VHS. I'd watch like Rage Against the Machine, 311, and they all had a bit of the behind the scenes of what they were doing before they went on stage. And I was fascinated with that stuff. So maybe it'll be something akin to that.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
I hope so. People are blowing up here too, like Lexi was saying in the chat that she's not relevant.
Very passionate people about these two women. I don't know.
I know Swifties and Beyoncés.
She is very relevant. She is extremely. They both are, but she's super. She's just older than Taylor. What are you, an ageist, Lexi? What the fuck?
I'm gonna call them Beyoncés. Beyoncés and Swifties. They're gonna jack it out.
She has a name. Her fans have a name. I don't know what they're called. Does anybody know the proper name of Beyonce's fans?
Are Beyonce and Taylor Swift like Marvel and DC now? Is that what's happening?
I think so.
They just happen to be touring at the same time, and they were both. They're both wildly popular tours. You know what I mean? So like it's basically, they were saying that Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Barbie were driving the economy like for a while, like because they're like.
I like what Richard said about competing concerts. If you watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World, I want that. I want them actually fighting like across.
That would be awesome. Versus like Beyonce versus Swift. Let's go.
I watch it. I watch that too.
That'd be awesome.
It's kind of like the lip sync battle show, but like actually people performing. I'd be into that.
They're missing something here right now. They didn't do this right at all. They should have done some kind of battle movie. That'd be great. Maybe they can do like a mishmatch and they can shoot some beef footage of them just fighting and throw it all together, and that would make millions of dollars.
Well, in 8 Mile they have rap battles. So
it's true. They could have something like that. That might do very well. I mean, there's also the rumor that Taylor Swift's going to be in Deadpool. That's something that's been going around too. But there's a lot of Marvel stuff happening. And speaking of Marvel, I want to talk about the Marvels. I want to talk about, the X-Men. The X-Men. I want to talk about the X-Men finally, because the X-Men, they're going to be moving forward. They're finally looking for scribes for the X-Men. Now, of course, the writers were on hold because they couldn't be writing. And now that the writer's strike is done, Marvel finally put a statement out there that they're actually taking meetings with different writers from across the board with different ideas, sit down and pitch some ideas for what the next X-Men movie is going to be. Now, they're going to take the whole fall to do this. They're going to take the whole fall, meet different meetings, talk to different people about it, and try to figure out what their metal or their idea is, and with what the other people, the writers, are bringing forward, what they can actually create to make the best X-Men movie. Because again, it's been a long time since we had an X-Men movie. It'll be the first time for Marvel when they acquired 20th Century Fox. Like, it's been too long. We've been waiting for it forever. There was a clause they couldn't recast anybody until 2025, and so that's why they had to sit on this franchise for a long time. I'm talking about the original X-Men. They just couldn't recast them. It was part of their contracts when they bought the company. That's what they inherited. So that was it. So they've been sitting on. Now, of course, Deadpool is finally moving forward. And of course, Ryan Reynolds probably had that same kind of contract. That's why he's fine being it. Again, we're probably getting Hugh Jackman being Wolverine because he's under that same kind of contract. Again, Patrick Stewart, being out there, I'm going to be in that movie. Of course he's going to be in that movie because he's under that contract too. It's not 2025. If they want to do this Marvel stuff, they have to. But I'm really grateful they're actually moving forward and having some kind of conversations about X-Men, because it's been sitting in the back end for a long time. Of course, X-Men 97, the continuation of the 90s cartoon, is coming out next year. I've been waiting on that. That was delayed. That was pushed. And I can't wait to see that because I was a big fan of that cartoon growing up. But I've been waiting for a live action X-Men movie. We all are. If you're a fan of Marvel, you've been waiting to see what Marvel's going to do with it. But they haven't done anything. They're saying beginning of 2024, they'll announce some more stuff for it. Hopefully release date will be announced after that, after they have a writer on board and they have a team assembled and they're starting to work on this concept and build it forward. But I'm excited about it. And I think the world could be excited about it too, honestly. Finally, some movement. That's what we want. Yes. Sabrina, what do you think? Is this a good idea that they're actually finally sitting down and doing this? Are you surprised by the timing of this? And do you think that this is going to happen anytime soon, though?
That's a lot of questions. No, I'm not surprised because I don't think they're going to do shit for a hot minute anyway. It doesn't matter. Like I'm super like, I don't know. I don't think they always like announce these like 28-year plans. Like Star Wars does it, Marvel does it, DC's doing it now. They're like, when you're 47, we're going to have like 3 movies and they're going to be these. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, just shut the fuck up until you're doing something. I don't understand. It's like, we don't just, I don't get it. Like, what are you doing? Of course, the writer's strike just ended. Now you're going to fucking get people to pitch some ideas. That makes sense. Sure. But like, rein it the fuck in. You have a 48-year slate. We're waiting for all those movies. So yep. maybe we don't need it right now. Maybe we need your announcement when it's actually relevant.
I want to see it though, Sabrina. And Richard Tracy says that he wants to see a movie where the government sends out the Sentinels to hunt down the X-Men.
I like that. I would watch that.
That could be good.
Maybe we should get you in the room to pitch to these people, Richard Tracy.
Yeah, bring your script ideas because they're meeting with everybody apparently. So not everybody, but probably some big wigs that they haven't announced who it's going to be. But the fact that they finally have some traction, because they've been very quiet about the X-Men besides the Deadpool rumors. Everyone's talking about that because that's the only little hint of the X-Men besides the end of the Marvels where they play that.
That's happening at least.
Yeah.
Talk about that all you want. It's happening.
It's happening. That's big.
That's real.
That's real. This is just, again, ideas going out on a page. Eventually, hopefully, someday, again, they'll still set. I gotta shoot it. I don't know. But it's a long time coming. I don't know. Paul, what do you think? Do you think this is actually good? We got some movement on this? Or are you kind of like, does this even matter right now?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Fantastic Four rumors. How we're constantly getting like someone's cast as Mr. Richards, Reed Richards, and Mr. Fantastic, and the next day someone else is coming. It's just like I just want definite answers, like Sabrina was saying. It's a little overwhelming, also, or underwhelming, I guess. And we haven't even got Deadpool 3, which is going to include Hugh Jackman. So I don't know what to say about this. The only thing I can do is hope that they do something interesting and different from what they've done before. And the rumor is that Wolverine will not be in the first X-Men movie, which I would love. And concentrate on Cyclops being the leader, because he's honestly my favorite character. He's so underutilized in the movies. He's the leader of the X-Men. He's like Captain America in the way he leads them. And I want him to step up and be the lead in the movies. But besides that, I would love to see a kind of play on the version of the X-Men comic that recently came out, which was called House of X Powers to 10. Yeah, that picture is, I believe, from it. And it's where Professor X and Magneto team up and create a mutant island getaway for mutants, and they accept all mutants, and they create their own society. It was amazing. And every time the X-Men die, which happens in the first issue, they all get wiped out, and Xavier has found a way to resurrect everybody if they die. So it's just such a great comic. I hope they did do something like that. That would be so
well. I think that's the hope, though, too, for a lot of fans, is actually go to the source material a little bit more, because the original X-Men movies, for what they were, I think they were good for their time. It brought a lot of great moments, but they kind of did their own thing. They took a lot of liberties, I feel like, too, but that was Fox, too, and I feel like they could have gone into more of the comics stuff. Maybe they couldn't because they didn't have the rights, maybe they had to write stuff. Really good at jumping that information before it's finalized. Lexi says, in the modern world, I think it comes from a desire to see it more than waiting to hear the facts. Yeah, everybody's waiting to hear. Everybody's excited about it. They just get excited, like, oh, then they start speculating. Hence why we have a million different casting speculations for Deadpool 3, because everybody's like, oh, maybe this person can do it. And then people are let down, just like they were let down by Doctor Strange, because like Doctor Strange, everyone thought that everybody was going to be in it too, and then you can't really do everything that you want to do. Like, Marvel's not gonna be able to do it all. They're just gonna try to do what they can, and hopefully we enjoy it at the end of the day. But fans go nuts about it because they want to see the source material out there, and they want to see something good. I love that idea, Paul. I think that'd be great if they went that route. But I mean, we have no idea. Maybe someone will pitch that.
Secret Invasion, they need to do something. That was terrible. Loki, I hope Loki's good.
I hope Loki's good too. That comes out this week.
I'm so excited for Loki.
I'm so excited as well. I'm like, come on, give us something good. But then there's like the whole idea that I've heard too, that after the Secret Wars, they're going to actually reboot everything again, and some of the people will become who are branching over. I know, like, why are we going to do that? That's what I keep hearing. There'll be a big reboot after Secret Wars. So, and then the Kang Dynasty thing, apparently they're going to lose. I hear that rumor too. Like, they're going to fight a council of Kangs, and they're going to lose the Avengers, and that's going to lead for the Secret Wars. These are all rumors out there. But again, maybe it's someone's ass, come on, someone's ass, and they're just hoping for it, but it might not be. But the Council of Kangs, I've heard a lot. I feel like that is the route they're going. We've seen it already in Ant-Man Quantumania. It makes sense. Of course, we have the Jonathan Majors factor they haven't addressed yet, which we'll see how that plays out. That's another whole thing. I'd say wait and see, until the court case is done. Marvel won't say anything until that's over with, because why would they? Why would they? They already got him cast and shot, and already Loki too. So like, why would you say anything about it? Just release that, see what happens, then make a big announcement about moving forward if he's cleared. That's all you can do. Or if he goes to jail, they just cast Denzel Washington and move on. That's all I gotta say. So
shoot it from jail. See,
you can shoot it from jail.
Green screen it.
Yeah, people walk. Maybe they can shoot that jail. You know what I mean? They have the actors come in. He's just behind like bars the whole time. Hey, there we go. I would crush you if I could. Yeah,
I can't preach.
But it's maybe time. Yeah, but I think though this again is, I think it's good news that they're actually saying something about the X-Men, because they've really been quiet about it besides Deadpool, and fans have been wanting to know. And again, I think it comes down to that clause that they couldn't recast all these people without casting the original actors, and so they're going back and forth like, what do you do? And that's why we got Patrick Stewart back. That's why we got Hugh Jackman back. We'll get everybody back in this Deadpool movie. They can probably, because that's who they have right now. They have to use. And they don't want to just, breach that contract and pay these people anyways. Might as well pay them, put them in the movie. So it's exciting times. I think it is. I mean, honestly, now that WGA strike's going forward, there's actually probably some real rumors coming out there pretty soon, and not just people speculating and hoping and wishing and loving life and be like, oh, this is what's going to happen, because no, nothing was happening at that point. Stuff's still not happening, Paul. It's still not happening. We're still waiting to see what's going to happen, right? Nobody's actually shooting anything. So like any kind of Deadpool 3 rumor, Sabrina, I know you love that. You're waiting for it because your boy Ryan Reynolds is in there. But every kind of rumor we're hearing about that, we're not going to know until they get back to shooting the movie, and then maybe some stuff will come out. But then again, maybe we just sit back and wait for that movie to come out and watch it in theaters. Maybe just do that and stop speculating. But we wouldn't be here if people just did that, right? We wouldn't be here. What did Queen say?
What's the point of having movies if you don't speculate constantly?
Right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, for them to be like, oh, we're accepting pitches for X-Men. Like, fuck off, I don't care. Like, what about the 19 other things that you already announced you're doing? Like, why don't we focus on those? Like, it's just, I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I feel like it's stupid in my opinion.
Good movies. Like, if you,
Yeah.
like you're saying, like, if you've got Fantastic Four coming out, shouldn't we concentrate on that more? You know, just
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, but they have all these things slated. You know, that you know, they made a freaking big announcement about phase fucking 5, whatever the fuck it's called. You know what I mean? So like, focus on that. Like, let's work on that. Let's not talk about how you're bringing writers in to pitch for an X-Men series. Like, I don't know. It just seems stupid. That's one of my favorite scenes.
They're showing right now the scene with Quicksilver.
That's
wasn't
my boy.
that long ago.
Aviation Gin.
Deadpool still got Wolverine coming out in Deadpool 3. So, I mean, we got a long ways before X-Men come to the big screen, and it's going to be something unique. And
that's what I'm saying, Paul.
My hype isn't there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not.
I think there's a lot more X-Men that are going to be in Deadpool 3, though. Like, it's going to be X-Men laden. So I think it's stupid, like, that they're even like. I mean, I don't know. You could hear pitches all you want all day, but like, you're the only people that know what goes on in Deadpool 3. So like, I don't know how that's even relevant. Like, it's just, I don't know. I guess if you're resetting it, it doesn't matter. It just seems weird.
Yeah. I mean, we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait and see.
So
again.
Cool.
With the original costume,
yeah, the yellow Wolverine.
the yellow Wolverine
photo out there too. It's pretty.
Yeah. We've had it up on the show before.
Yeah,
it's epic.
I wish I had it right now, but I'm super excited about it. I really am. I think everybody is, because people are pitching stuff, and a lot of times those ideas aren't that great. It's like what I just heard they're actually moving forward with is a Barney movie, and that leads me to our featured story of the night. Let's get it. Come on. So, there's a Barney movie coming, everybody. Now, I know there's an animated version coming. We talked about it before, but there's an actual Barney movie coming. And the Barney movie now, it's not going to be for the kids. It's apparently following suit with Barbie. Barbie did so great, Mattel was like, let's push this Barney movie forward. And they were trying to do this since 2019, and it just has kind of fallen through the cracks multiple times. Of course, there was COVID that probably delayed it. And now Barbie came on, did so well. They're like, all right, we're ready. It's Barney time. So they announced this, and it's too early to know all the details, but they say they're working out, but it's going to be a fresh approach that will be fun, entertaining, and culturally oriented. But they're saying it's not going to be an odd movie, which, like, that's some weird terminology used. It's not going to be an odd movie, but they did say that they're learning that it's going to be about, okay, everybody listen to this. Okay. It's about millennial angst of the property rather than the fine tuning that is for kids, right? It said it's going to be really for a play for adults. So it's only for adults. Not that it's going to be R-rated or anything like that, but it's going to be.
Adults are super into fucking Barney.
I know. So they're going to focus on the trials and tribulations of being 30-something and growing up with Barney, just to the level of disenchantment. And then you're, mixed with reality, and they all say it's going to be surrealist. It just seems like they're going to go adult. They say it's like an A24 type film. Barney A24. Think about that. Put that together, and that's what you get for this movie. So, the new generation, they said, a new generation of Barney for a new generation of people. But like, why are we doing
for a new generation of adults if it's not for kids? Like, this makes no sense.
But like making it like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is it going to be like, because Barbie did a whole thing where they changed. I mean, it is a kids movie, but there is a lot of themes in there that are, very adult oriented. And when I heard this, I'm like, what's this going to be like? What's that movie? That's Smoochie? Death for Smoochie?
Death to Smoochie.
Death to Smoochie. Yeah, that's already your adult Barney movie right there. Are they going to try to like do something like that? Or are they going to try to make it something that's totally different? What do you do with this? How do you make Barney like relatable to adults these days and make it, be dark Barney? Is he going to be eating people? Imaginary Barney? Like, is it going to be like a Wilfred thing where Barney's in this person's head and then he's walking around and Barney's doing some fucked up shit like Venom behind him? And he's like, don't do that shit. Like, I don't know. What are we going to do with this? Like, how do you make a Barney movie that's A24 based, that's adult based, that's, I don't know, not kid based? What do you think, Paul? Are you excited about this?
I mean, no, but here's the thing. Years ago, I would never thought a Barbie movie could make $1 billion and be good. I never in my life thought that would happen. And yet it did. And I think when it comes down to it, the script and the story, if it's good, it's good. If they can make a Barney movie that touches on all the things that we love for, like you said, Death is Smoochy and those things, maybe just not to that extreme. It could be interesting. I'm open-minded to it. On the surface, until I hear anything about the film, I'm not interested too much. I think that I'm going to go with an open mind, and if things come out with the trailer being appealing, then I'll be wanting to check it out. Oh yeah, there you go. That's the kind of film we want.
That's what we're getting, right? Barney's on a rampage.
I personally think Death of Smoochy did it perfect for me anyway. I love Death of Smoochy. I love the idea of just kind of exploring the dark underbelly of kids shows. That's interesting to me. I don't know what this is going to be. It could be something completely different. But again, I always go back to Barbie, and if Barbie, a story about a doll, can be made well, then maybe a Barney movie can be made well. We'll see.
Maybe. I mean, that's the thing. They were able to get a good director, a great writer. They get all the right people involved with this, and maybe it'll be fine. Maybe they'll find a way to make this work. Maybe the Wilfred thing, the way they'll go, they'll have it just be an imaginary character that does. Maybe he's not imaginary. Maybe he's a symbiote from space. Becomes a dinosaur. Or maybe he finds a dinosaur. Maybe he finds a real dinosaur, and the dinosaur's eating people. He's got to hide the dinosaur away in his basement or something like that. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of routes you could go with this, but I feel like the idea of Barney being what it is, it's like, oh, I love you, all that shit. I just feel like I don't know, to make it adult theme. I don't know. It gets kind of in that Winnie the Pooh great.
Like you said.
Yeah, right. It gets into that territory like the Winnie the Pooh, where Winnie the Pooh is like the blood and honey, gets into that world. We're going to go that route with it. I don't know. Sabrina, do you think that's kind of the route they'll go? It's A24 suspense horror. Do you think you see it being that way? Or are they going to find a way to keep it? Because they said it's not going to be rated R per se. I think they'll find a way to make it work, and it will be $1 billion movie just like Barbie.
No.
And we're done.
I don't.
And that's it.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like, as Paul said, obviously, right now, my impression of what you just read is a hard no. However, I do love A24. They always do some weird, fun shit, some original shit, which, we desperately need in Hollywood. So, yeah, open mind for sure. Absolutely. Reading this, it doesn't seem like it could remotely be on par with what happened with Barbie. I think that was kind of an anomaly. And I feel like Mattel is now, they want to make a Hot Wheels movie, and they're doing all these other, properties, who are those robot idiots, Brian?
Nuts.
No, there's robot ones. Not the micro.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
They're also doing a Hot Wheel.
Trying to do all of these.
I heard that movie was good. I didn't see it.
It didn't come out yet.
Oh yeah, it did. It was Real Steel.
Yeah,
no,
you're right. Real Steel was good.
We said that when it did. This kind of reminds me, though, if you make it fucked up and weird, like Happy. Do you remember Happy?
Yeah.
Happy was fucking great. First season of Happy was amazing. Second season not as good, but first season was amazing. What's his name? Maloney, Christopher Maloney.
Yeah, he's so good.
But right but they had those blob toy things, and he was a child guy, but there was also, they were kidnapping children. It was a whole thing.
Squishies or something like that.
Yeah, totally. I don't remember this Banana Splits though.
Dude, they've been trying to do that for so long.
They're trying to.
So long. And it's never happened.
The Transformers Queen episode.
Yeah.
Yes, that too. But no, the based on the toys, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's a Mattel toy. But since Barbie was so successful, they started they're trying to move into this world of making toy movies, movies based on toys. Or, this is a little bit different. Obviously, it's not based on a toy, but I babysat a lot when Barney was popular. And there is, just that song makes me want to slam my head against the wall. So I love you. Yep, all that. That's all happening. It's a lot for me. It was
Taylor Swift and Beyonce to do that cover.
Well, I can't wait.
You know what?
That's gotta happen. That's gotta happen.
Can they do a battle? Can they battle it? Who sings it best?
Yep.
I just want to read something Lexi wrote really quickly.
She had a dark tone.
I put it up on the screen, but I couldn't really
a real tone.
So apparently the story behind the woman who made Barney is fascinating and tragic, and the psychology is interesting. I didn't read that word for word, but you get the idea. Apparently her son murdered someone, and her husband then committed suicide. So that's super tragic and nuts.
That's a movie.
But says nothing in the description that says it's going to focus on her or that. It's very vague, and it says it's not going to be odd, which immediately makes me think it's going to be odd. Okay?
Well, maybe she got the inspiration from Barney, from her son's imaginary friend who's actually killing everybody. And it's in the kid's head the whole time. And so that's why this is all going down. I don't know. Tie him in somehow. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was reading that.
That's an idea. That's a way
It's
to
an
go.
idea. I just don't know. It just seems like it's going down this like really weird rabbit hole that I don't think they would make $1 billion off of. I mean, maybe the idea of the family could be good, but then it's not really about Barney. As like they did with the Barbie movie, it was about Barbie. You know, it was really about Barbie and the Rock'em Sock'em robots. Like I said before, they're doing that, and it's not real steel. It's just they're making a Rock'em Sock'em robots, which I said on the show before. I'm like, that is real steel. And they did it well already. Why are they touching it again? Like, but they're just doing it. The Hot Wheels of J.J. Abrams, they're doing that, and now they're doing this with Barney. So Mattel just, they made $1 billion on this one movie, and they think let's just go crazy.
Wait till they have 2 fucking tankers where they lose money, and then we're going to see where we're at with Hot Wheels and freaking. But isn't Hot Wheels like someone like a huge director? Isn't
it's
like,
J.J. Abrams. Yeah. He's developing it.
Gonna wait for that. That's how it's saying that is. What? Hot Wheels?
I know he's been developing for a while. Apparently,
they should. If they make it like Talladega Nights, I might be in. No.
That could be kind of cool.
I would love
Talladega. It's like the sequel, but it's Hot Wheels now. Let's just throw them both in there. Get Ricky Bobby back. Let's do it. But I'm just like, I love Barney. This seems like Mattel is just stretching. They saw money there. They're gonna we'll make more money off all of our little like action figures and our toy line. And to me, I'm like, I guess it's an original idea, but not. I don't know. It's not a reboot, but it is. Again, I'm about the He-Man and let's get He-Man going. Let's get freaking like the Masters Universe. Let's get the freaking Thundercats finding. Thundercats has been so long.
That came up and went down so many times. The Masters of the Universe.
I know, so many times. I mean, the original is awesome. It's awesome. It's good 80s cheese. You can't go wrong with it. You're gonna watch a movie. It's just like Flash Gordon.
Terrible is so is Flash Gordon. Terrible.
I know. Terribly great. Yeah, everybody had Rock'em Sock'em when they were young, right, Ty? Where we get what's the pig one where they smashing the pigs and they're eating the Hungry Hippos. When's that coming? We're doing Hungry Hippos
pigs.
next.
They're hippos.
Oh, that's hippos. Yeah, I'm sorry, they're hippos. I'm like the pigs. We want that next, and there'll be mutant like hippos eating the world and shooting out balls around every place. I don't know, but this is where we're going with stuff, and because now the writer's strike is done, we're gonna have new stuff coming. Finally,
a Hungry Hippo marble when I was a kid.
That must have not been fun.
My mom was not happy.
On the other end. Anyways, everybody.
We were playing. I just grabbed one and shoved it in my mouth, and she was like, "Don't you? What the fuck?" I was like, "Sorry." It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the toys are dangerous, everybody. They may be live action now, but they're still dangerous. So be careful, beware. Do not swallow the hippo ball. Don't do it. Hippo balls are not for you.
There he is, GR.
Hungry hippos. Thanks, GR. Yeah, but this is where they're going right now. Mattel's going to keep dominating the world now. They're hoping that they're going to make box office gold again with Barney. I don't know if I believe it. We'll wait to see more details coming forward. Very early development. But of course, it's not going to be for your kids, everybody. It's going to be for you, the adult that played with Barney's and watched him when you were a kid. Now it's twisted. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for being here on Cruise Control tonight. I know I went by pretty fast tonight, but yeah, there's lots of stuff happening, and I'm excited to see where we go. We'll have updates on the negotiations going forward. I was going to say WJ now, SAG-Aftra now. That's done, Brian, with SAG-Aftra and AMPTP. Hopefully, that's coming more news on Wednesday. Wait and see. Anticipation we get deal at the end of the week, and hopefully everybody gets back to work, and we don't have to worry about anything. We get some more entertainment for you and everybody out there. I can't wait to get back to work. Everybody, come on, right, Paul? It's time.
Also, you guys watching, can you do us a favor, please, and hit the like button right now? That would really help us out. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the people who come back all the time. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. I think we're at like 618 subscribers now.
I believe so.
Thank you so much, everybody. Keep those numbers going up.
Thanks,
Love it so much. Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Oops, sorry.
Paul, thank you for coming back on Cruise Control tonight. Appreciate you as always, man.
Always a pleasure.
Love chatting. Love chatting with you. Yeah, we'll have you back. So everybody check out Film Vets. You can check out his trailer reactions. They're also doing kind of the same stuff we're doing too. Check it out, Paul. It's stuff. It's awesome. You can find him on Film Vets on YouTube. Go out there after this. Watch some of his videos. You definitely appreciate it. Support a friend of the show. Support him. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lorena, thank you so much for being here as always too. Appreciate you.
Of course. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Queen Amazona, the Pinico Way.
Thank you for coming back, everybody.
Richard Tracy, all of y'all.
Love to see you in the chat. Keep coming back. We got more stuff coming this week. We'll see you on Wednesday. A lot happening then. But you know what? Until then, please like and subscribe, everybody. Join our Patreon if you can. Comment. It goes a long way. I love talking to you after the show. It's great and all that. And tell everybody. Tell your friends, your family, your uncles, your aunts, your cousins, your nephews, your grandpas, your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's dog who subscribed to Kruse Control back in the day before he even had a fucking channel because he knew it was coming and he started the channel. And I love that dog because he inspired me that day. Tell him to watch Kruse Control. All the animals in your house, your cats, your dogs, your lemons, your fucking chinchillas. I don't know what the fucking lemon is, but your leopards, the snow leopards, that fucking snow leopard that stuck in the backyard during COVID that buried a hole and he disappeared for a while and he came up over the wintertime. Tell him to watch Kruse Control. The mailman's puppet that fucking digs like your dog and punches him and loves him and then hugs him and kisses him. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. Tell him like Kruse Control. However, like Kruse Control. Share. It means a lot. We'll be back on Wednesday as always, everybody. Thank you so much as always. We love you. Have a great night. And
thank you guys.
Until Wednesday, everybody. See ya.
He was on fire today.